Good morning and welcome to another conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world and that you're one day closer to your dreams coming true. And my podcast wouldn't be a podcast without a poem. And this poem is called I Don't Know. And it's taken from my book, The Psalm 23 Experience. I don't know the answers. All I have are questions and more questions. I don't know when this nightmare called present reality will end. I don't know if God is indeed listening, but I'm praying anyway. I don't know where the light is in this darkness, but I continue to seek it diligently. So I choose stillness, remaining calm and cool, and simply being okay with not knowing. And I thought this poem was appropriate as we close out 2022. And honestly, I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about as far as closing out the year, and I wanted to have this deep conversation and say something really like poetic and just deep. But I just decided to be honest and just say congratulations to everybody out there that made it through the year. Just pat yourself on the back for just getting over climbing that mountain that you needed to climb, swimming that sea you needed to swim, so to speak, and try to focus on the things that you did accomplish and don't worry about the things that you didn't. Because I know myself, usually this time of year I get really depressed and sad and all in my emotions because I'm worried about the things that I didn't accomplish. But I decided this year that I would focus on the things that I did accomplish, the milestones that probably would have went unnoticed if I just chose to focus on the negative things. And a lot of bad things did happen this year, a lot of challenges. I don't think I've ever really been challenged emotionally, financially, creatively in my life. But the consistent thing is I'm grateful for my friends that really surrounded and supported me. I really, really am truly grateful to people that I surround myself with that have really seen me through some really challenging moments. And I think we all need to just focus and keep those people close to us as much as we can and to make sure they're okay as well. Again, I think a lot of people go through emotional challenges when it comes to going into a new year and the holidays, and I think again we all focus on the bad things. But I want to talk about a few good things that I did this year that I was proud of. I published my 13th book, my 13th poetry book. I wrote a screenplay that I'm almost finished with, and I'm very, very, very happy with. I feel like it's my color purple, so to speak. I managed to overcome some things that I thought I wouldn't in terms of my mental state of mind. Things that just kept troubling me, and I decided to just throw my hands up. And when it comes to not knowing the future and just flowing with the future, just literally allowing myself to trust God more with not knowing. Because I'm one of those people that I'm an adventurous person, but I have to know where I'm headed. Why am I going this direction? What is the plan? And allow God to just reveal in his time and just go with the flow. And I know it sounds simple and we always just say, oh, just go with the flow. But this year, again, I really allowed myself to just not fight it anymore. And I know they say pick your battles carefully, and that's true. it really is true. You really just have to allow yourself to be okay with the direction you're going in and being honest with yourself about where you're headed. And I think the big thing too is for 2023, I think all of us need to just kind of focus on our happiness. And the one great thing I feel like I do now is no matter what's going on in my life, I do what makes me happy. And if I give a job 8 hours a day, I try to give myself that same 8 hours of happiness, doing something for myself. Whether I'm with somebody, with kids, if I'm laughing, if I'm with my partner, or even if I'm doing something by myself, I make sure I do something that makes me happy. And I find joy in the midst of sorrow. And no matter what I'm doing, I try to make sure, even if it's something simple, I try to focus on whatever is making me happy in that moment. Because again, I think we have a tendency to focus on all those bad things in our lives that just seem to keep haunting us. You know, the sleepless nights and the stress. And sometimes you just got to make peace with the things that you have no control over. I mean, you just can't do anything about it. And I don't want people to focus on 2022 as this traumatic year that you really didn't get to do the things that you really wanted to do. You know, you didn't meet the love of your life, or you didn't, I mean, look at it this way. They didn't meet you, you know. Try to look at it from a different perspective. And the good thing about not knowing is life is full of surprises. And it's okay to be surprised. Sometimes you can be pleasantly surprised with an experience that you didn't expect to have. And I'm getting better with allowing myself to be surprised and to be overwhelmed by something I didn't expect. You know, you may meet someone that you didn't expect to meet. And those are the things that I'm getting used to, allowing myself to open myself up to other opportunities and other possibilities. Because again, I think we all focus on what is not happening in our lives, but we need to focus on the things that are happening. Our health, our state of mind. You know, I'm happy that I can still talk to my parents. And some people don't have that luxury to be able to speak or hear their voices. And I'm grateful for, again, my relationship that I'm in now. And I'm presently learning a lot from my partner, and I've learned a lot from him that pleasantly surprised. And when you listen to the people in your lives and you literally take their advice when it comes to some things, don't feel like they're telling you what to do. I mean, if you've tried everything else and if it's not working, then try something. Maybe get some suggestions from other people in your life, that maybe things that you didn't consider doing. And you'd be pleasantly surprised at some of the outcomes. Because I myself, I don't like anybody telling me what to do, and I'm a control freak, and I'm real big on just, again, being in control. But I've allowed myself to be influenced by other people, because there are a lot of things that I don't know and a lot of things I haven't tried. And I've been pleasantly surprised at the outcome of things that I'm learning to do that more. Not be afraid to listen to other people's advice when it comes to relationships, when it comes to business, educating yourself, and because we don't know everything, and we can't possibly know everything. And don't block your blessings by not taking advice from people that really could help you with some of those, I guess, aspects of your life that you might be challenged on. And I think the other part of it is realizing who you are and figuring out what you want to do to be better. Because you could be that negative person that nobody wants to be around. And, you know, you could be that, that person that's bringing everybody down. And you need to figure out, why are you miserable? Why are you, like they say, hurt people hurt people. And you have to figure out, even if you're hurting yourself, again, I think we all are beating ourselves up about things that we didn't do or accomplish in the year, but I really want to focus on the things that we did and how strong we really are, and the people that we lost that didn't win that battle of the mind. And it's not something I think we should dismiss. And I mean, like I said, some people really didn't manage to get through the year without losing themselves to their troubles and to their pain. And again, this is not, I think you should own your pain. I think you should own it, feel it, allow yourself time to heal. And I think that's the other part of our emotions, is that we don't allow ourselves to feel the pain. It's real. I believe that pain is a healing. It helps us to know what hurts us and also what we don't want to experience anymore. And if we do experience it, we'll know how to deal with it. And not be afraid to talk to our friends and family about what we always say. We're there for that person. Oh, we're there for you. I'm here for you. But really, really mean it. Tell people that you care about, that you really are there. Call me anytime you need to talk to me, pray, cry, vent. Because I think we say that so willy-nilly. We tell people that we're there for them, and we, call anytime, and then we dismiss them. I really think we really need to reach out to people more and really be a listening ear, really be a blessing to somebody's life. And the other part, I think, for me, that I feel very strongly about is, why do we have to ask people to be there for us? I mean, I think we should automatically be being there for people, blessing people without boasting about it. Meaning, if people need help, just help them. It doesn't, I feel like we're in a stage of life where, in the world, the way the world is now, we really need to lean into each other. And what I mean is, I feel like there are a lot of people that are struggling that we're aware that they're struggling. And if you can help somebody by, buying them groceries for the week, maybe putting gas in their car for that week or for that day, taking them to lunch to cheer them up if they lost their job. There are a lot of things that we can do to help each other get through on a day-to-day, 365 days. Because I think we focus on all the big things we want to accomplish, and the little things add up to the big things. I think we really, really need to help one another emotionally and go that extra mile. Because I think we're saying it, but we're not actually doing it. And I think we have to do these huge, huge gestures to make people feel good, when you really don't have to. It doesn't have to be money involved. But a lot of us are really, if we haven't learned anything this year, a lot of people are really struggling mentally. And it doesn't matter what social class you fall into. A lot of us just need help, that extra mile. And when it comes to money, if you don't have it, then just don't give it. But begging people, bugging people to give you your money back, I'm not saying that you don't deserve your money back. But if you're helping somebody, if it's $100 here, $100 there, you give money to church and you don't know where that money is going. I mean, I just say pick your battles in terms of your financial. If you're in a position to bless somebody, I'm 100% sure you're going to get that money back through another means. But nobody wants to be harassed about $50 or $60. I mean, it just, again, pick and choose the people you want to bless. But at the same time, again, I feel like we really need to surround ourselves with people and stop looking for the big gestures, like you really have to do something big. Taking somebody out to dinner, cooking dinner for somebody, going to the park with somebody. I mean, there are a lot of big things that we can do for people to get them through that day, through that season of their lives, because it's not easy out here. And I could give you this podcast and say, do this, do that, do the other thing. And I think we just all need to go the extra mile this year or going into 2023. I think we all need to, whether we're supporting a business, we're going to be better in our relationships. We're going to be more supportive partners, more supportive friends. You know, our friends that want to go back to school, the ones that are making career changes. We need to be more helpful and reciprocal of what people are doing in our lives and not take those people for granted. And again, I just think we really need to lean into each other because things like racism and anger and that stuff is going to be there. It's not going anywhere no time soon, but I refuse to let it consume me. You know, I've spent a lot of time being angry, like all the time. If I'm not angry, I'm depressed. If I'm not depressed, I'm really sad. And I guess, again, my whole point in this is that we all have to kind of pat ourselves on the back and realize we've accomplished a lot this year. And quietly, we made it through a very challenging, I mean, the list is long. And I'm not going to get on this, you know, oh, this happened, woe is me, you know. We know you're living in the same world I'm living in. But I really just want to encourage people to just really go that extra mile for people that we care about, even strangers. You know, I've met people that I just have been pleasantly surprised at how God can bring people in your life just to make you smile. Simple stuff. So don't beat yourself up about things that you're not doing or accomplishing, but think about all the things that you did manage to do this year that made you smile or it made someone else smile. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm looking forward to the new year and all the new opportunities that are coming my way, finishing my screenplay and working on another screenplay possibly and going through that process and just learning. And then the other part is I learned a lot from my store. I mean, I had some really great sales in my store, All Things Moetic, over the holidays, and I really want to expand my store into other things, and I want it to be more me and more positive, more part of my legacy of what I want to convey to the world. And I think the other part of that is we have to think about our legacy. I mean, as people, what do you want people to know about you? You know, we don't know when our time is going to be up on this earth, and I think we have to really, yes, we're going into a new year, but we don't know, this could be our last year. So I think for me, I'm going into the new year putting out good energy as much as possible. For every bad energy I get, I'm going to put 100 back out into the world. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to combat it with good. And I just want to encourage you to, again, be proud of yourself for 2022. You did it. And I want to thank you all for listening and engaging with me, entertaining me, and all the positive feedback you've given me about my show and my creative endeavors. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world. And I pray that you have a happy new year and a wonderful 2023. Thank you for listening.